Welcome to another segment of Into the West Comics. Today, we are going to be talking about one of the most polarizing Star Wars movies. I think there's a lot of opinions. I think maybe the only Star Wars movie that has as many differing opinions on it is probably The Last Jedi. But the movie in question today that we're going to be talking about is The Revenge of the Sith, the finale to the prequels. Let's introduce who we got here on the panel today. We got Sunman.
What to do, players? Hey.
All right. We got Austin over here next to me.
What's up?
And then last but not least, we have Uncle Nephew Shane.
Hey.
Good morning.
So I'm going to start with Sonny because I'm interested to see if he's actually watched this one.
I have watched this. We got to put on Disney Plus.
Sonny,
I was like, put it in the cup.
what are your thoughts on Revenge of the Sith, and what would you say your favorite parts of it are and your least favorite parts?
I mean, that's pretty hard to tell. I mean, favorite part, unfortunately, is going to be the end. I love that battle is going to be between him and Obi-Wan is insane. I think seeing Anakin's downfall would probably be, I don't know if it's my least favorite, but I just hated how they kind of went down that hole. I loved Anakin. I loved his character, and I really wish he would have been like, whatever, the savior and kind of did his thing.
I mean, he was, though. But you didn't watch Return of the Jedi. So
no, I know. That's what I'm saying. So I love this movie. It's still one of I was gonna say one of my favorites out of the prequels. If I was to rate the prequel, I probably wouldn't put it number one. But what?
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
which one do you like more?
Phantom Menace?
You like 10 minutes of a Phantom Menace. We've been through this.
I know, but like I think that I guess so. It'll probably be a tie between that one. I just love the fights, and again, seeing Jedis at their like peak and like seeing real fights. I think I was watching like Return of the Jedi, or not Return of the Jedi. What is it?
No, you didn't.
No, I wasn't. What's the other one? What's the newer one? The
Rise of
Skywalker?
No.
Last Jedi?
Last Jedi. There we go. It was on at South Point. I don't know. I just liked the sword fighting, in the prequels a little bit more than what we got in some of the newer ones. I don't know. I liked it.
What's your least favorite part of it?
What do you mean?
What if anything about the film annoys you, or you're like, I could do without that?
I think it's probably the fact that I didn't pay attention too much of seeing Luke supposed to be the rise of the one, and then seeing Anakin's downfall from it. I think
there's like a disconnect for you with the original trilogy and the prequels.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think a lot of people might say that about the prequels, that they don't really feel like they fit with the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Austin, we'll go to you next. What are some of your favorite things?
So for this movie, it was pretty like an awesome moment for me. So it came out when I was in second grade. So my dad got me out of, I know I'm young.
Jeez.
Yeah. So my dad got me out of school early, and it was my kind of like my first Star Wars to see in theaters.
That's cool.
So it was pretty awesome to see it the day of.
That's cool.
So I think the best parts for me kind of was the opening scene for me. It was like when they're doing the battle in space, doing like the whole shooting. I thought that was super cool as a second grader. Like, this is awesome.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was epic.
And then my other favorite part, of course, like Sonny, the ending battle scene was pretty awesome. Yeah. 15 minutes of lightsaber battle. It was pretty awesome.
Yes, dude.
My least favorite
so cool. It was so
was
cool.
probably when I was growing up. I didn't really realize how bad Hayden Christensen's acting was, but after I've watched it over and over again, when at the end when he was screaming "I hate you" really loud, I was like, wow, this is amazing acting. Not really. And then when he turned into Vader and he started screaming "no," I was like, okay, that's another favorite part of me though, because as a kid that was awesome when the Vader like the mask came on.
That was amazing.
That was like, oh, this is
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
See the smoke come up.
A clean Vader mask is always cool.
And then another thing I didn't like, one more
it's always
thing,
clean.
was the Emperor part when he turned into when he got all weird when fighting Mace Windu. I thought that was really weird.
That was strange. That was strange.
There is a lot
story
of
for that part when we get to me.
But yeah, I've probably my favorite out of the prequels.
Nice.
The only one I got to see in theaters, so I kind of have a bias to it.
That's cool. It's nostalgic.
Yeah, it was nostalgic to me getting to see that for Star Wars in theaters.
All right, Uncle Nephew, what are we thinking?
I'll start with my least favorite part of it. There is a lot of Palpatine in it. There's an overabundance of Palpatine in it, overacting like in a lot of spots.
It's almost like you had two other movies where you could put it more than more.
No kidding. That's what I'm talking about. I like Revenge of the Sith the most out of the three of the of episodes 1, 2, and 3. 3 is my favorite, of course.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But there is, they should have put a ton more of Palpatine in the first two.
For sure.
We got an abundance of Palpatine in episode 3. What I loved about it is, of course, Vader turning into Vader. When you finally get we finally get him, it's fantastic. Yeah. But I also love the battle versus Count Dooku, and that battle's pretty great.
Yeah.
That and of course Obi-Wan and Shmur's battle.
Not Shmur's.
Not the Shmur.
So I think that I have a slightly different view on the final battle than you guys. I do like it. But not as much as everybody else does. I think it's too long, and I think there's a lot of the choreography that I don't enjoy. Where if you watch the fights,
where they're like just swinging,
they're swinging the lightsabers at the lightsabers. They're not swinging them at each other.
It's just going.
They're swinging them at the other's lightsabers.
It's like a dance.
It's like a dance. It's over choreography or whatever.
Over choreographed.
I fell on my face yesterday.
There you go. Choreographed.
Yeah, it's a little over choreographed for me. But I do still enjoy that scene. I think that scene works really well. I think it would work more if they were actually friends in the other movie. But that's other movies. But that's not really on this movie. It's more on the other movies. My least favorite part, though, and to this day I hate it, is Mace Windu's death. I feel like he didn't need to die. And fun fact, when I watched this movie as a kid, every time he died, I was younger like Austin. I had to leave the room because it made me cry because I love Mace Windu.
Yeah, dude.
I had to leave the room because it made me cry. I was like, I don't want to watch him die. I remember specifically one time, my dad and I were watching it, and I had these little sweet tarts, and the scene was coming up, and I was like, Dad, I'm going to go in the garage and eat these until the scene is over. And I like hear him die on the TV. I'm like, oh. I come back into the room.
You
I'm like,
still
okay,
listened even though you're in the garage?
I had to know when to come back in.
He just didn't want to see it.
My dad was not going to come get me.
He's like, I'm watching this movie, bro.
My favorite fight in the entire movie.
Cry in the garage. I'm not coming to get you.
He was like, I don't care. It's a movie. But my favorite fight is the fight between Yoda and Palpatine. I think Yoda uses his Force abilities,
really cool.
and Palpatine uses his Force abilities. Like when he caught the electricity from Palpatine, I was like, damn, maybe I do like the prequels.
You're like, excuse me, this is kind of cool.
That is nice.
But that's definitely my favorite part of that. And my next question for you guys is, once this wraps up, now, this is the connector from the prequels to the original trilogy.
Yeah.
What part do you think fits in with the original trilogy the best? And which parts do you think leave you going, why did you do that? Like, why was this the ending point for the prequel?
I think you ended on a lot of, like, that Mace Windu having to die thing. I really wish we had more of that. Mace Windu. I think
more discussion about this character. It was so important during
the
purple lightsaber
out of the original triology.
Right.
That's why he died.
Right. You had this purple lightsaber, and it's like you're like, no. He's like, he died. That's kind of what he said. I said it. No, I think I really
I said it.
I really wish we would have got more of Mace Windu, and they didn't flesh that out enough. I mean, to me, like, I was younger as well, seeing a purple lightsaber, I'm like, yo, what's this guy about? Like, and then you just kill him off. So I don't know, that bothered me.
That's a good one as far as what bothers you about it. I want to agree with that. But the thing that did you pick one that connects with it the most?
This Darth Vader, pretty much.
Probably, yeah. Like,
that's a great
seeing Darth Vader in every.
I can't think of anything else that connects. When I'm thinking about it, it's like New Hope and Darth Vader that's at the end when they're building the Death Star and he's doing the
that's
the awkward pose.
For me, what I think the thing that connects it the best that they did is Yoda like losing that fight and being banished.
Feelings about it.
And then and then he goes and says goodbye to Chewie.
Because
he's like, I'm out of here, bro.
Here's my thing with that scene. Yoda goes into exile same way that Luke does in The Last Jedi.
Okay.
I feel like Luke's reasoning for going into exile in that movie makes way more sense. He's like, I almost killed one of my Padawans.
Right.
I'm not fit for this. I need to put myself away. And in the Revenge of the Sith, Yoda loses like a one-on-one fight with Palpatine, and he's like, "Well, guess I gotta go hide on a like, bro, there's nothing else you can do. Like, you didn't do anything wrong.
He just kind of gives up. But I think, he felt. But I think he truly believes like once You know what I
Palpatine has it,
mean?
he's gotta bounce.
Like
I
this
do.
is the beginning of the end.
It was funny though. He said he goes to exile, but then he goes to like the planet where Padme is, and then he's still talking to everybody. So
Yeah.
You're not really in exile.
He didn't go
Also,
to exile yet.
I mean,
that's true. That's
much
right.
maligned is the way that Padme dies.
Oh, because of love.
And then you have people who are like, well, it wasn't a broken heart that killed her. It was actually this, that, and the other thing. No, the movie says it was a broken heart. It was just terrible writing.
That's bad.
She's like, I was sad.
That's such a.
Oh,
I was
That's
too
kind of her
sad.
acting the whole third movie.
yo,
though.
for real.
She goes from this super strong character in the other movies to
Yeah,
like,
she's just-
oh, Anakin, I'm gonna stay in the house and do nothing, and we can't let people know that we're together except we're
Bro, she was in
obviously
a
together.
fighting
She's
pit.
pregnant and
she was
they
in a
don't-
fighting
Right.
pit, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever.
And then the worst acting between Hayden and Natalie Portman when they're yelling at each other, and then Obi-Wan
weird.
coan out of nowhere like, hey, I'm here. I've been hiding this whole time.
You're like,
I'm
what?
listening to you have a romantic argument.
Yeah, maybe I don't like this movie.
It was.
You're like,
It was hot.
He chokes her. Like, why did you
Chokes-
choke her,
yeah,
bro?
he got so angry just for.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why'd you choke her out, bro? What the fuck? Like, what's going on?
So now, when Darth Vader saves the day at the end of the Return of the Jedi, I'm
Jedi,
thinking
yeah.
about when he kills all
That's
those
that
little
movie.
kids,
Yeah,
which we
yeah.
haven't even mentioned, which is terrible.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah,
He basically
wee
choke
ones.
slams his girlfriend. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good job, man.
It's just, yeah.
Savior of the Force.
It's crazy to think how bad these movies were, and like compared to like the original trilogy. It's like, man, what did George Lucas kind of think of?
You know,
how to-
things
He
change.
had a bunch of yes men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people were like, "Yeah, this is awesome."
It's just
yeah.
kinda crazy
Jar
to
Jar
think
Binks,
about.
this is going to be amazing.
Well, you know, it's one of the coolest characters that we haven't touched on yet, which I wish was in more of them, was General Grievous.
Right.
I think
Grievous was
that
dope.
you know how most people's favorite character from the prequels, I would say, is probably Darth Maul. My favorite character is General Grievous.
Interesting.
Of the three villains that we got who aren't Palpatine in the prequels, Count Dooku, Grievous, and Darth Maul, where would you guys each rank them before we wrap up here?
Ooh, that's hard. I mean, I think Darth Maul would kick Grievous's ass. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I think if they were in a fight, double lightsaber versus all the other ones, I'm gonna go Darth Maul number one. Count Dooku just had like a presence about him. You know what I mean? I felt like,
That's why I dug that scene.
him a
with
lot.
them. I like Dooku a lot.
I like
Yeah.
Dooku a lot, so I'm going.
the fact he
Dooku
has a
too.
cape.
Yeah, dude, and
I have a
It's
cape.
wild, man.
And again, versus like
Force.
you see all these different lightsabers, which is cool,
dope.
but
Yeah.
Darth Maul had the double lightsaber. Dooku had a cool.
I
light-
have that one. I bought it at Disneyland. It's so dope.
It's just like a cool design. You know what I mean? So I'm going Dooku number 2, and then Grievous number 3, Darth Maul number 1.
Are you going? You going?
Go ahead, Shin.
Yeah, Dooku, Maul, Grievous.
Okay.
And you
Probably Maul, Grievous, and Dooku. Because I watched a lot of the Clone Wars stuff, so I kind of like Grievous. If you watch the Clone Wars
he's
stuff,
in
yeah,
you see a lot of that, and so that's what.
I'd go. For me, I'd go Grievous, Maul, Dooku. I just think Dooku, in theory, was a lot cooler than he actually was. But before we wrap up, let's give our out of 10s as Sonny would like to give. What would you give the Revenge of the Sith out of 10?
I'm going 7.5.
7.5.
I'm going 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5 because this was the first movie I saw in theaters, Star Wars movie. So I kind of have to like keep it homage to it.
Okay.
I was gonna go 8, but
You're like, I don't wanna be that
everyone
guy.
talked me out of it.
Go ahead, do it.
Do it.
No, I'll do 7.5.
7.5. I'm going to
Copycat.
go 6.5.
Oh,
I think the great parts of this movie are great, but the terrible parts
Are pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well, makes sense.
So with that, thanks for tuning in to Revenge of the Sith. Run
It
back.
Back.
Tune in the coming
Run it
weeks. We're going to
back.
be talking about the sequel trilogy, which I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of opinions about
Oh,
that.
boy.
Make sure to like,
gonna be
subscribe,
fun.
comment. Let us know what you think about the movies. And thanks for hanging out, you guys. See you next week.
See you next
Goodbye,
week, y'all.
everybody. Peace.